Well, I want to start with talking about scheduling for success. And what I mean by that is the daily, hourly, by every 15-minute increment schedule. And then next week, I want to back up and look at it from a higher viewpoint. So today, it'll all be about how do we schedule the time? How do we schedule the doctor's time, hygiene, assistance, those sorts of things. And obviously, this will be a little tough to do for everybody because, if you're an office that has 8 chairs versus 3 chairs, it's completely different. So what I would suggest is that we come back and revisit this on a one-on-one basis. But I at least want to start with giving you some ideas of where to go from there so we can build upon it and then personalize it for you. So, and I want to start with a metaphor first. Andy, I'm going to slide over to the board real quick. I want to start with a metaphor for that I didn't realize was from Covey. I heard it from somewhere else before you had told me that this morning, of how full your schedule can be. And so imagine this is a great big vase or bucket or something like that. If I put a whole bunch of big old rocks in here, is it full, Wally?
Yeah, absolutely, it's full. There's no more room.
It looks pretty full to me. Now, what's interesting is if I put a whole lot of little pebbles in here, I can get more in there.
Yep.
So my question to you now is it full?
It looks full to me. I thought it was full the first time. Now you've really tricked me.
You can tell this is well rehearsed. So now I'm going to put a bunch of sand in here.
Oh, the plot thinnens.
Plot thinnens. And of course, the question is it full? And
yes, it's definitely full now.
Everybody's going to say it's full. Now the challenge is I'm going to throw a bucket of water in over top of it, and I bet I can get even more content in there.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is if we start off with a schedule and we build around it via big rocks, it allows us to put a whole lot more into it. It allows us to develop that and use our time far more efficiently than if we just threw a bunch of little pebbles in there.
Right.
And the rocks, if you imagine, are your big productivity things, the $1,000 kind of appointments or whatever it is. And the little things are your smaller $150, $250, $300 sort of items. And then, these little pebbles can be hygiene exams, they can be emergencies, they can be all those little things that add up to fill the day. So how does this relate to the doctor's schedule? Real simply, what we want to do is we want to first schedule the most productive things first in the day. When you have the most energy, when you have the most enthusiasm, when you have the ability to do the hardest, most productive things. And that'll vary from each office. Maybe some doctor enjoys to do that in the afternoon, maybe one in the morning, but I'm going to start with it in the morning. So I want to start off with our big appointments. So we're going to schedule ourselves an hour-and-a-half long appointment in the first chair. And let's assume this is a $1,000 sort of appointment. And then over here in hygiene, of course, we've got this going all day long. It's full of appointments. And over here, I want to supplement this with when can I sneak in the emergency? So here's a little 10-minute block. That's a little ER appointment. And then over here in hygiene, what we're going to do is we're going to sneak in our exam wherever it would fit. So maybe it's right here. And what's interesting about that is when I talk to doctors, and I just had this conversation in Phoenix a few weeks ago, I had a doctor who was struggling with when to do the hygiene exam because she was always waiting to the end of the appointment. And I'm looking at her going, why don't you just do it when it's convenient for you and what you've got going on here?
So what you're saying is that hygiene appointment could be done anytime from that 8 to 9:30, anytime.
Well, from 8 to 9.
Or could step out anytime during that.
Correct.
8 to 9:30.
The doctor can step out to do that exam in hygiene anywhere in the hour.
Gotcha.
And it doesn't have to always be at the end. It had to always be at the end traditionally because we ran old films and we had to wait for those films to get processed and pulled out. Now, with most people being digitized, we don't have that limitation. So we can put the hygiene exam anywhere we want in there,
Gotcha.
which is a game changer for people. And then it allows us to come over here and we can put another appointment for the doctor right here. Maybe this one's just, 45 minutes-ish. And it's a $300 sort of composite or something. So we can work back and forth building what would look like the ideal day. So here's going to be an hour-long appointment. Again, maybe another $1,000 appointment. Just random numbers. And we're still sneaking in our hygiene exams. So we have another hygiene exam that's going to be right here. Maybe when anesthesia is setting in. And I need a 9 o'clock. That would be right at the 9 to 10. So that would be at the end. Then we'd have another one over here. Maybe in the middle when the patient's being temporized. So all we have to do is structure this such that we're bouncing back and forth in a time-efficient fashion. Now here's what this requires, though. This requires some planning. This requires that we've set up our day and we've blocked it to where we want to have, this appointment here, 45-minute appointment. We want to block schedule our day and schedule to what we think would be our ideal day. Can we do this right from the beginning on every single day? No. But let's start with a half day on Wednesday. Let's build our perfect day for a half day on Wednesday where it looks something like this. We're not seeing a million patients. We're seeing good productive stuff, and it's a relaxing, profitable day. Because, right here, I've already built in a $2,300, $2,400, $2,500 day by noon.
Right.
So how beautiful would that be? And, of course, the mindset problem, people throwing back objections would say, well, I don't know if I can fill that. Well, you're never going to know until you try. That's why you start with a half day. So schedule yourself off and block yourself off a half day on Wednesday, 3 weeks out. Build what you think would be perfect, your ideal day. Chair 1, you're doing a crown at 8. Chair 2, you're doing an emergency somewhere in the middle. Then you're back over here doing a composite. You're back over here doing a crown. Bounce back and forth. Design your perfect day without looking at patients, without looking at circumstances. And then let's see if we can achieve it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to finish this day, and you're going to find it to be a very, very profitable day. You're going to find it to be a very relaxing day and an enjoyable day.